friends, I'm Walker and welcome back to All About Nails, where we talk about vegan and cruelty-free nail polish. Today I have a million releases from Pahlish. This is their Black Friday release collection. It is the Russian Ballet inspired collection, and I also have some limited edition Black Friday releases to share with you. So let's talk about all of these polishes. Pre-order opens at 12:01 a.m. on 11/29 on November 29th, and it closes on December 2nd. Everything on the site will be unlimited pre-order, so you can get kind of whatever you want, including this new collection. So they're going to have all these new polishes, they have some Black Friday exclusives, and then they'll have re-released shades from previous collections this year. Okay, let's dive in and swatch the Russian Ballet Collection. These will be on sale from $8 to $10 a piece, and they will be all available for $120 if you want to get the whole set. There are 13 polishes in the collection, and then there are the 2 limited edition shades. So we're going to talk about the 13 polishes in the Russian Ballet Collection, and then we'll come back at the end and talk about the limited edition shades. Okay, first up we have Glass Cabinet, and this one is described as a soft sky blue with a mix of iridescent flakies. And I really like the color on this one. I can see sky blue. I would say it also has like a hint of purple in it. Like it reminds me a little bit of periwinkle. That might just be coming from those iridescent flakies, right? It's kind of like giving it a little bit of like a pink purpley glow. You can see on the first coat it goes on really evenly. It's not like patchy or streaky, but it is a little bit more sheer. I think that color is just really light, and obviously Shannon wanted those iridescent flakies to shine through. And so on this second coat it is getting a little bit deeper, and I feel like you could stop here if you want to, but I would really suggest going for a third coat on this one, because I think like in my swatch photo you get just a depth of flakies and a little bit more depth of color that makes that third coat really worth it. So if you can do 3 nice thin even coats, you get a really nice, you know, layering effect with those flakies, and you do build up that color a little bit. So I think 3 coats is worth it for this one. It's a very delicate color. This one's like perfect for winter months. I feel like this is just a perfect holiday winter polish. And so you are looking at 3 coats of the beautiful Glass Cabinet. Okay, and up next we have a wonderful gold flaky polish. There are a couple gold flakies in this collection, which obviously make me happy. I love those ones. This one is called Imperial Theater, and it's described as a faded Prussian blue cream with those crushed gold flakies. This one is going to retail for $9, which is a fun price point for an indie. This one, again on that first coat, I think I went a little bit too thick in my swatch here, so I would suggest doing a nice thin even coat, because on 2 coats you do get enough of a buildup of that color, even if you go a little bit thinner. Like my swatch photo just shows 2 coats, and I feel like you still get that nice kind of deep color. I like this Prussian blue. I can see that it definitely is a little bit faded, and I just think it's really pretty. It works really well with those gold flakies. So you are looking at 2 coats of Imperial Theater. Okay, this next one is called Pas de Deux, and it's a medium orchid purple with a green to pink shifting glow. And I feel like in my swatch photo I really captured the like green component of that shift. It's kind of hard to get the pink. I see it, but it doesn't really show up on my nails unless I kind of tilt them the perfect way. But it's really pretty. I'm not complaining. I feel like Polish does these shifty polishes so well. That shift is so strong. Even on that first coat you can see so much of that shimmer, but on the second coat you just get this really gorgeous deep shift. It's absolutely stunning. That orchid color just gets really deep. The formula on this one is really nice. You know, it goes on exactly where you put it. You don't have to be too careful in terms of brush strokes. I got a little bit of brush strokiness, but you know, it's not too hard, and I think that shimmer kind of covers it up. So you are looking at 2 very shifty coats. Okay, and now we have another one of those delicious flaky polishes. This one is called CELESTA, and it's described as a deep violet gray with a mix of iridescent flakies. And I feel like violet gray is just the absolute perfect color description of this polish, right? It is so very much purple, but it's so muted and kind of grayed out and soft. Violet gray is just perfect. And on the first coat, it's going to be very similar to the other flakies that we saw in this collection. It is a little bit, you know, sheer, but you do get a nice wash of flakies, which gives you a little bit more depth once you put on that second coat. I think with this one, you could stop at 2 coats if you want to, right? Like in my live swatch, you can see that those 2 coats are nice, you have flakies, you have color, but I think the third coat just like pumps this one up a little bit more. It gives you just a little bit more depth to those flakies, and you just get a little bit more shine, a little bit more glimmer, and you get a little bit more of that base color. So I would really recommend this one in 3 thin coats. I don't think it's too hard, you know, it's not like thick or hard to work with, and so I think it's worth it to go in for 3 coats of CELESTA. All right, this one is a different finish than we've seen in this collection yet. This is Doll Kingdom, and it is described as a bright strawberry pink with scattered holographic microflakes and soft coppery rose to green shifting pigment. This one is a little bit thinner than some of the other holographics that we're going to look at in this collection, and so on my first coat, I got a nice like wash of that super bright color, and on my second coat, I do feel like I'm building up the color a little bit deeper. I'm getting a little bit more kind of that bright pink. I like the strawberry description, but it's really a very intense bright pink. I feel like you could probably go for 3 coats on this one. I'm gonna just do 2 because I think with those holographic flakes, you get enough shine that it doesn't look, translucent. So you're looking at 2 coats of Doll Kingdom. Okay, and Puppet Maker is going to be a perfect contrast to Doll Kingdom because it's going to show you just how opaque some of the other holographics in this collection are. This one's described as a bright grassy green with holographic flakes, which is just about the most perfect description. That's exactly what this polish is. And on this first coat, you can see it is, a little bit sheer. It's not quite as sheer as the last one that we looked at, but on a second coat, it just gets perfectly opaque. You get such a gorgeous, bright, grassy green color, and those holographic flakes are just like big enough that you can see individual sparkles, but, small enough that you get this like total gorgeous coating of holographic sparkle. I really love this finish that they do, and it is probably my preferred holographic finish from Pahlish. So this is 2 coats. Okay, and this one's going to give us a little bit more contrast for another holographic finish. This one is 7 Crowns. It's a delicate gray cream with scattered holographic microflakes and soft coppery rose to green shifting pigment. This one I think has much smaller holographic flakes. At least that's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. I didn't make this polish, obviously, but I think this one is really, really soft and delicate. So the color is really light. And so on one coat, you get a little kind of like, almost like a holographic topper, I feel like you could do. And then on 2 coats, I do get a little bit more of that gray cream. And in my swatch photo, I actually stopped at 2 coats because I thought that it looked, nice and kind of light and ethereal. But I want to show you how to build this one up into 3 coats in my live swatch because I think that's probably actually my preferred way to wear this polish. In 3 coats, you just get a little bit more of an opaque, kind of solid look on the nails, and that gray is still super, super soft and delicate. You still get a like lovely smattering of that holographic in here, but I think it just gets a little bit more opaque. So this is 3 coats. Okay, next up we have another gold flaky. This one is CLOCKMAKER. This one's described as a soft buttery yellow cream with crushed gold flakes, and I just love this one. This one reminds me of one of the gold dust polishes in the last collection. I think it was Miel. It's that soft yellow with the gold flakies. This one's a little bit more of like a richer yellow. Miel was a little bit more muted out, so this one's definitely different, and it has the bigger gold flakes. It has a really lovely formula. I felt like this one was opaque for me in 2 coats. I do think you can probably see a little bit of sheerness on one of my nails with like stronger visible nail line, but for me 2 coats was perfect for this polish, and it's really easy to apply for a yellow, especially. It's really easy. So that's 2 coats of CLOCKMAKER. All right, and next up is the best way that you could ever spend $9 in your entire life. This one is St. Petersburg. Just kidding, do what you want with your money. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but this one is a rich garnet red with holographic flakes, and I'm like literally drooling. This is so gorgeous. You can see it's like almost opaque in 1 coat. This one is super, super dense with those holographic flakes, and the base is just a little bit, deeper, but that formula is just gorgeous. Like look at how evenly and perfectly that's going on. This is a thin coat too. My first coat was thin, and it's still almost opaque. I did put on 2 coats because I feel like it just gives you a little bit more depth to that color. It gets a little bit more like winey colored, a little bit deeper, and you obviously get a bunch more of those holographic sparkles, which is wonderful. This was the first polish that I wore from this collection, and I was obsessed. So you are looking at 2 coats of the super sparkly St. Petersburg. Okay, next up is CASSE NOISETTE, and I did look up how to pronounce this one. I'm sure I did it wrong, and I'm sure someone will correct me down below, so feel free. But this one is soft white cream with a mix of metallic red and gold flakes and scattered crushed gold flakes. So, oh, I love the combination of the flakes in here. It feels like a little bit like it could be a Christmas polish, but it's not like definitely a Christmas polish. You know, you could wear this one several other times of the year, and I do feel like this white formula is pretty good. The white crelly kind of does build up for me in enough opacity in 2 coats. You could probably do a 3rd coat and you would get just a little bit more, you know, smattering of those flakies, a little bit more depth, but I felt like 2 coats was plenty, so you are looking at 2 lovely coats. Okay, next up is Lilac Fairy. This one is described as a pale periwinkle with rose glow, and this one will retail for $8. So again, some of these shimmery ones are $8 if they don't have those flakies in them. This is one that I would definitely suggest you actually build up in 3 coats. Like on 1 coat, you get just kind of like a little bit of a glow on your nails. On 2 coats, you get a little bit more of that base. You get a little bit closer to that kind of lilac-y color. And so it's nice. I really like this one. But on 3 coats, like in my swatch photo, you can see that you're just gonna get this absolutely like ethereal effect on the nails. And the glow in this one is super, super strong, especially when you build it up in 3 coats. So I really like this one. I think that it is not necessarily like a style that I pull for often, but I can see this one being super lovely in like January, February. It's a very kind of like ethereal, rosy winter shade. There's like a hint of that periwinkle in here, but it is super light. And so yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So that's 3 coats of Lilac Fairy. Okay, next up is MARIINSKY. This is a bright blue with an aqua to purple glow. And just like the last kind of glowy one that we looked at, this one I'm capturing, I think, really easily the aqua component of the glow here. It's a little bit harder for me to get the other aspects, again, like if I shift my nails perfectly, but for the majority of the time that I had this on my nails, this was what I saw. And this one has a really great formula. In 1 coat, you get just kind of like a wash of color, but it is really even, kind of both in the color and in the shift. And I feel like in 2 coats, again, you get nice and opaque, like just opaque enough for this one. This one, again, you're gonna get a little bit of brush strokiness if you're not careful, and I think in my swatch photo you can see that on a couple of my nails. So I would just try to manipulate that 2nd coat, you know, as little as possible, but it's definitely not the worst streaky shimmer that I've ever worked with. And I think the glow is pretty strong, and so it does kind of cover up those streaks if you do get any. So you are looking at 2 coats of MARIINSKY. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we have Tiny Ginger Snaps. This one is described as an intense rust red cream with crushed gold flakes. And intense rust is probably the perfect description of this color. It also reminds me so much of Ginger Snaps, like so much of Ginger Snaps. It's gorgeous. This was the 2nd polish that I wore from this collection, and I was obsessed with it. Every time I looked at my nails, I just thought they were so fun. I really just love this color polish in kind of any polish, and so then you add in those gold flakies in here. This one's super unique in my collection and so fun. It's just super spicy and really wonderful. This one has a great formula. You know, on that 2nd coat, it gets all the way opaque. When I was wearing it, I thought that I might almost want to put on a 3rd coat next time just to see how many more flakies I got, but I was really happy with it in 2 coats. And so you are looking at 2 coats of Tiny Ginger Snaps. All right, so if you spend $50 or more, you will get a bottle of Odette, which is this absolutely gorgeous polish. It is described as a porcelain blue cream with crushed gold flakes. And then if you spend over $75, you will get Odette. You will also get Clockwork Castle, which is this beauty right here. This one is described, I'm just gonna read off my phone. It is described as deep indigo with scattered holographic microflakies and soft coppery rose to green multichrome pigment. I loved this polish. It's stunning. Okay, let's talk about my favorites from the Russian Ballet Collection. I feel like Shannon did a really nice job with this collection of incorporating a whole bunch of different kinds of finishes, different color schemes. There's a lot that will be really nice for winter, but there are also polishes in here that will spread into the fall if you get them, you know, and it still feels fall where you are. They'll spread into early spring. There's just like a really nice, robust collection. So my favorites are this absolutely stunning polish. This is St. Petersburg, and it's this really pretty like mulberry color with tons and tons of holographic in here. It reminds me a little bit of the formula on Seaside, which is a really nice kind of cerulean blue that has the same formula in here. It was a big, pretty much in 1 coat. I would put 2 coats on it just because, you know, you want it to be extra sparkly, but St. Petersburg is stunning. This one's really, really nice. And then I obviously have to pick one of the gold flaky polishes because they're just to die for, in my personal opinion. This one is called Tiny Ginger Snaps, and it is ginger snap colored with gold flakies in here, and they just work so perfectly together. You put this on your nails and it looks spicy. Like, it looks like a spicy ginger snap. It is gorgeous. I really enjoyed this one. Okay, awesome. awesome. I hope you liked this video. I hope it wasn't too long. I know there's a lot of polishes in here, but I hope you enjoyed. As always, let me know what you liked about this collection. Do we have the same favorites, different favorites? Are you planning on grabbing any of these? I would love to hear from you. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe so we can sit down and hang out and chat about nail polish again sometime. Awesome. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.